In the heart of a quiet Montana town, the rhythmic hum of tools and the faint scent of oil were constants in Jackson Miller's life. His garage was small, worn from years of service, its walls lined with mismatched shelves holding tools passed down from his late father. Most days were spent under the hoods of rusty pickup trucks or fixing the engines of dusty motorcycles. But tonight, his workbench looked different. No car parts lay before him, just a collection of gleaming metal frames, wires, and wheels. For weeks, Jackson had been working on something far from his usual. Repairs, a project that had taken root in his heart the moment he heard Lily's story. Lily Bennett was just 8 years old, but her life had been altered by a tragic accident the year before. A runaway truck had jumped the curb while she was walking home from school, leaving her with injuries that confined her to a wheelchair. Her mother, Victoria Bennett, was one of the most influential women in the state, a billionaire real estate mogul who could buy anything money could offer. She had tried every form of therapy, imported advanced wheelchairs from Europe, and consulted the best doctors in the country. Yet, nothing seemed to bring back the spark in Lily's eyes. That was when Jackson heard about her from a customer passing through, just a small-town rumor that somehow stuck in his mind. Jackson wasn't a man of wealth or status, but he was a man who understood machinery in a way most people understood breathing. He'd spent years creating custom motorcycles from scrap parts, making impossible repairs seem routine. The idea of building something for Lily wasn't about showing off. It was about using his skill to give her a taste of freedom again. He didn't know her personally, but the thought of a child missing out on running through grass, chasing after dogs, or feeling wind on her face made something deep inside him ache. He decided then that he would build her a chair unlike any she had ever seen before. The first step was design. Jackson spent hours sketching on an old notepad, the pages smudged with grease. He wanted something that could handle more than smooth sidewalks. This chair had to be able to glide across grassy parks, roll over gravel without jarring, and even move easily across sandy paths at the lake. He salvaged a lightweight but sturdy frame from a racing wheelchair, then modified it with motorcycle suspension for smooth movement. The wheels were carbon fiber, strong yet light, and he installed a small, custom-built electric motor that could assist when Lily needed extra speed or had to climb inclines. Every detail mattered. The seat wasn't just functional, it was hand-stitched leather, padded for comfort but shaped to support her posture. The controls were intuitive, a simple joystick system designed to respond instantly to her movements. Jackson even added retractable stabilizers, allowing the chair to stand still without rolling when Lily wanted to stop and play. Friends who stopped by the garage shook their heads at the amount of time he was putting into it. "You're never going to get paid for this," one of them remarked. Jackson only shrugged. Payment wasn't the point. Night after night, Jackson worked until the clock ticked well past midnight. The garage door stayed cracked open, letting in the cool Montana air and the occasional sound of crickets. His hands were often blistered from welding, his eyes strained from staring at small parts, but the vision of Lily smiling kept him going. He imagined her racing across the park, not as a girl bound to a wheelchair, but as a child rediscovering her freedom. That image was worth every drop of sweat. Still, Jackson couldn't shake the doubt that lingered at the back of his mind. What if Victoria thought he was overstepping? She was wealthy, powerful, used to dealing with high-end specialists, not small-town mechanics. Would she even take him seriously? But then he reminded himself that this wasn't about her approval. It was about Lily. And if there was even the smallest chance his creation could make her life better, he had to take it. His connection to Lily's situation ran deeper than he liked to admit. Years ago, his younger sister Emily had been diagnosed with a rare condition that left her struggling to walk. She had always dreamed of hiking in the hills around their hometown, but she never got the chance. She passed away before Jackson could make that happen. He had been 17 at the time, helpless to change her fate. Building this chair for Lily felt like he was finally doing for someone else what he couldn't do for Emily. It was more than a project. It was a quiet promise to his sister's memory. To gather the materials, Jackson had to get creative. The carbon fiber wheels came from a bicycle racing shop in Seattle that agreed to sell them at cost after hearing his plan. The motor parts came from an old dirt bike he'd bought at a junkyard for $50. Even the leather for the seat came from an old recliner someone had thrown out. Every piece had a story, and together they formed something brand new, a blend of resourcefulness and heart. Jackson tested each part individually before assembling it, making sure nothing would fail under real-world use. As the build progressed, word started spreading in the small community. People would drop by to see what Jackson was making, offering tools, snacks, or just words of encouragement. Some were skeptical. A mechanic building a wheelchair, that's not his field. But others understood that innovation often came from unexpected places. Jackson didn't care about the whispers. His focus stayed on the work, tightening bolts, smoothing welds, and adjusting the suspension until it was flawless. The hardest part was keeping the whole thing under wraps until it was ready. Jackson didn't want to approach Victoria until he had something tangible to show her. He imagined the look on her face when she saw it not as a pitch, but as a gift. He rehearsed what he might say, though he knew words had never been his strong suit. Actions, he believed, always spoke louder. By the third week, the chair was nearly complete. Jackson rolled it out into the sunlight for the first time, the polished metal gleaming against the backdrop of the dusty garage. He took it for a test ride himself, lowering his frame into the seat and steering it down the driveway. The motor purred smoothly. The wheels glided over cracks and the suspension absorbed every bump. For a moment, he felt like a kid again, speeding down the street without a care. That was the feeling he wanted for Lily, effortless joy. But the final touches still mattered. Jackson spent an entire evening fine-tuning the controls so they would respond even to the lightest touch. He adjusted the height and angle of the seat to perfectly match the measurements he'd gotten from a friend who knew Lily's physical therapist. He even painted the frame a deep sky blue, the kind of color that made you think of open skies and endless possibilities. When he stood back to look at it, he felt a surge of quiet pride. Late one night, Jackson finally set down his tools. The chair was done. It wasn't just a machine, it was a work of love, built piece by piece with the hope of giving a little girl her independence back. He wiped the grease from his hands and sat beside it in the dim glow of the garage light, imagining Lily's reaction. He didn't know exactly what would happen next, but he knew this was a turning point. The next step was the hardest, reaching out to Victoria and offering something that money couldn't buy. The following morning, Jackson loaded the chair into his old pickup truck, securing it carefully with straps. He drove slowly, through town, past the diner where he sometimes ate breakfast, past the school where kids ran laughing across the yard. Every sight reminded him why they mattered. Pulling into the driveway of the Bennett's estate, his heart pounded harder than it had in years. This wasn't about him, it was about the chance to give a little girl her life back, and as he parked and stepped out, he knew there was no turning back now. Victoria's hands trembled slightly as she stepped into the open garage, the scent of motor oil and freshly cut metal lingering in the air. The large bay doors were rolled up, letting in the golden Montana afternoon light. Her eyes locked on the wheelchair immediately. It didn't look like anything she had seen before. The smooth, aerodynamic lines, the deep leather seat and the sturdy, wide-tread wheels all spoke of craftsmanship and care. Jackson stood nearby, wiping his hands on a rag, his expression modest. "She deserves to move without limits," he said softly, almost like it was a secret. The next day dawned clear, the kind of morning that made the air crisp and alive. Victoria brought Lily to the park, her curiosity mixing with a hint of skepticism. She had seen so many devices over the years, most were over-promised solutions that fell short. But this was different. Jackson was already there, adjusting the controls and explaining to Lily how it worked. The child's small hands gripped the sides as she listened intently. At first, Lily moved slowly, easing forward as the wheels responded to her touch. Her eyes widened when the chair rolled smoothly over the grass without the slightest bump. She turned it gently, feeling the responsive motion, then took a bolder push. The chair glided over the uneven dirt path as though it were glass. Victoria felt something stir deep inside her as she watched the little girl's growing confidence with every turn. Then came the moment Victoria didn't expect. Lily spotted a butterfly fluttering just ahead, its wings catching the sunlight. She laughed a bright, unrestrained laugh. Victoria hadn't heard in years and pushed the chair forward, chasing after it. The laughter carried across the park, warm and alive, drawing curious glances from passers-by. Victoria's throat tightened, the joy in her daughter's voice cutting straight through years of quiet sadness. Lily zipped across grass, over gravel, even down a slight slope, the chair never faltering. Jackson watched from a short distance, his arms crossed loosely, a small, satisfied smile tugging at his lips. He didn't need thanks. He just wanted to see her, move like every child should. And she was moving with freedom, without fear. That was all the reward he'd ever need. After nearly half an hour of playful exploration, Lily came to a stop near a small bench. Jackson walked over, crouching beside her. "There's one more thing I built in for you," he said, tapping the side handles. "If you ever feel strong enough, you can use these for support." His voice was gentle, as if inviting her to believe in something more. Victoria, sitting nearby, tilted her head in confusion. She knew her daughter couldn't walk, not anymore, not after the accident. But Lily's face lit up with determination. Slowly, with careful movements, she gripped the custom handles Jackson had designed. Her small fingers tightened, her arms trembling slightly as she shifted her weight forward. The park seemed to hold its breath as she pushed herself upward. Her knees shook, her lips pressed together, but then she stood, just 2 feet, holding steady, looking up at her mother with a smile that was part triumph, part disbelief. Victoria's eyes immediately filled, her hand flying to her mouth. She hadn't seen her daughter upright in years. Every parent dreams of seeing their child take steps. But for her, the hope had long been buried. Now it was alive again. And then it happened, 2 small, shaky steps forward. The grass beneath her feet might as well have been the smoothest floor because Lily didn't falter. Victoria gasped, her tears streaming freely. Jackson stood silently to the side, not wanting to intrude on this moment. He understood the power of silence, letting the moment speak louder than any words. Lily's voice was soft, almost shy, as she said, "Mom, I did it." Victoria rushed forward, kneeling to hug her, holding her tightly as if she were afraid letting go would make the miracle vanish. The scent of Lily's hair, the warmth of her small frame, it was all too much, and Victoria sobbed. Against her shoulder, "You did more than that," she whispered. "You reminded me what hope feels like." Jackson turned away slightly, giving them privacy. His hands were greasy, his shirt stained, but his heart felt lighter than it had in years. He'd built cars, trucks, bikes. But this was the first time he'd built something that carried more than a person. This carried dreams. He didn't think of himself as a hero. But seeing the joy radiating from Lily's face made him realize that sometimes the smallest acts of craftsmanship could change the biggest parts of life. News of what happened that day spread quickly through the small Montana town. It wasn't the kind of gossip that faded. It was the kind people wanted to hold on to, retell, and relive. The mechanic who made the billionaire's daughter walk became a whispered legend. Victoria, who had once kept her life private, found herself wanting to share the story with anyone who would listen, not for fame, but to inspire others to believe that miracles often came from unexpected places. Later that evening, as the sun dipped low, Victoria found Jackson still at the garage, tinkering with another project. She walked in, her heels clicking softly on the concrete floor. "I don't know how to thank you," she began, her voice low but steady. Jackson glanced up, his brow furrowing slightly. "You don't need to. Seeing her smile today, that was enough." But Victoria shook her head. "No, Jackson, you didn't just give her a chair. You gave her a piece of her life back that's worth more than anything I own." He smiled faintly, going back to his work. "Sometimes it's not about what you own, it's about what you give." His words were simple, but they carried weight. Victoria lingered a moment longer, watching him work, realizing that true kindness wasn't loud. It was steady, humble, and unshakable. She left knowing that this mechanic had changed her daughter's life, and hers too, in a way no amount of money could ever replicate. That night, Lily refused to let the chair out of her sight. She parked it by her bed, running her hands over the leather before drifting off to sleep. In her dreams, she wasn't just walking, she was running, dancing and spinning through wide fields. And somewhere deep in those dreams, she carried the quiet pride of knowing someone had believed in her enough to build her the wings she needed to fly again. Days turned into weeks, and Lily's progress only grew. With the custom handles, she practiced standing every day, sometimes taking 3 or 4 steps before settling back into the chair. The park became her favorite place, and every butterfly that passed seemed like a challenge waiting to be accepted. Victoria started smiling more often too, her world no longer clouded by the weight of the past. One afternoon, as they strolled through the park, Lily turned to her mother. "Do you think Jackson knows he's a hero?" Victoria chuckled softly, glancing toward the distant garage where his figure was barely visible. "I think heroes don't always know they're heroes, sweetheart. They just do what they believe is right." And as the wind carried their laughter across the fields, the truth settled in Victoria's heart. This wasn't just a story about a mechanic and a wheelchair. It was a story about humanity, about the quiet magic that happens when compassion meets skill. Months later, Victoria arranged for Jackson to attend a charity gala in the city, not to show him off, but to connect him with others who might need his help. At first he resisted, uncomfortable in a suit and tie, but when he saw the photos of children who could benefit from his creations, his resolve strengthened. The night ended with pledges from donors, but more importantly, with Jackson realizing that his gift could reach far beyond Montana. Back at the garage the following week, he began sketching designs for new adaptive chairs, ones for sand, snow, even rocky hiking trails. Each blueprint carried the same purpose: to give someone the chance to live without limits. And every time he thought of Lily's laughter that first day in the park, he worked a little harder, into knowing that freedom was worth every late night and every drop of sweat. One cool autumn morning, Lily visited with Victoria, showing off how she could now walk nearly 10 steps without stopping. Jackson clapped softly, pride in his eyes, but he kept his words minimal. "Looks like I'll need to build you something even better," he teased, and Lily grinned, knowing he meant it. Victoria watched them interact, realizing that what had started in a greasy garage had become a lifelong bond. By winter, the first snow fell over Montana, blanketing the town in quiet white. Jackson delivered a new set of snow-adapted wheels for Lily's chair, allowing her to glide across the icy sidewalks to build snowmen with her friends. Watching from the porch, Victoria pulled her coat tighter, her heart warm despite the cold. She knew this was only the beginning for her daughter and for the mechanic whose kindness had set everything in motion.